Hi, Mikel. You were commenting on Miguel Merino. Is Ancelotti won the Premier League a few years ago in England? Do you think not having such a profile in Spain could help you in Spain because there's not as much pressure? I've been in England for a long time now. I've won things as a coach, and it's normal that there's more of a profile here and not in Spain. But it's Real Madrid have won the Champions League 15 times. How do you prepare your players to go up against a club like that? With a lot of hope, and we're fully convinced that we can get a result, that we can do it. We need to be convinced that we can do it. And, we'll have the moments where we can do that. We need to just enjoy it and enjoy being with our people in the stadium.
So, Gary, do you want to kick us off?
Hello.
Hello, Gerry.
You're back just in time. How frustrating, we know you love to play football, how frustrating has it been to have your first serious injury?
Yeah, it was tough for me. Came at a bad moment, but I'm just focused now on the positives, and I couldn't ask to come back at a better time of the season than now.
I know you've had some big nights, but in terms of your club football, is this going to be the biggest night so far?
I think in an Arsenal shirt it probably will be, yeah.
Because I know how important it was to you to come back. You said on social media the reaction of the crowd against Fulham really lifted your spirits. It meant a lot to you. How important are the crowd going to be for you and the whole team tomorrow night?
Yeah, so obviously as the players, we're ready and we're up for it, but I honestly have no doubts that the fans tomorrow, they're going to be up for it also, and they're going to help create the most beautiful night that the Emirates has witnessed.
Let's hope so.
Hi, Mikel, how are you?
I'm good.
So no one wants to get injured and be out for a couple of months or whatever it is, but in hindsight, going away, holiday, bit of sun on your back, bit of R&R like the rest of us have, has it actually done you good going into this game? Do you feel fresher than nearly everyone else on the pitch tomorrow night? I mean, just talk us through what that little break did for you, even mentally.
Yeah, so I think mentally it was really good for me. Obviously it was really tough initially to find out the extent of my injury, that I was going to have surgery. It was really tough for me to hear the news at first, but once it was done and it was successful, I was just focused on coming back stronger, and I had a lot of time. Obviously the past 5 years I've been playing game after game, so it was the first proper break I've had, and it was really good for me. I got to do a lot of things that I don't really normally do, so yeah, I feel fresh. I can give you many examples, but you will get bored. But yeah, focusing on the question, yeah, it's really nice to be back, and I feel fresh mentally for sure.
Tomorrow night we're going to see some world-class players opposite you, but also on your team as well, you included. And you came through the academy at Hale End, so too as Marvel, Skelly, Ethan Wanieri. One, have they, because you came through the academy like they did, have they asked you specifically for advice in their journey so far? And two, what does that show about this football club, the fact that while other clubs go out and cherry pick some of the best players from around the world, this club still goes back to its roots?
Yeah, that just goes back to the amazing academy we have, and the latest example is those two boys, Miles and Ethan, and how talented they both are. And yeah, I'm always there for them if they want to ask me any questions. They do sometimes they don't, but I always make myself available to them, and yeah, I'm just really proud to see the steps that they're making, and I just hope they keep grounded and keep working hard.
And the fact the academy has brought through so many players.
Yeah, like I said, this is Arsenal. I think this is what we do. We've done it in the past, and I just hope we continue to keep doing it so we can save more money.
But you're in rehab, you're recovering, and this draw has been made. Just how much of a focal point and incentive was it to kind of almost get over the final hurdle and make sure that you're ready for arguably the biggest game of this season?
Yeah, I mean, if you ask my physios, there was a lot of conversation about this game. I'm wanting to be back, and not just back in good shape. I'm feeling good, so yeah, that's what I spent a lot of months working massively towards, and yeah, we're here now, so I'm excited.
The manager was talking about creating your own story and also not being intimidated perhaps by Madrid's history, by playing the opponent. Just, can you talk a little bit about that, and just how much determined the players are to make their mark in the Champions League? You've done brilliantly in the last couple of seasons in the Premier League, but just how much will it mean to make a statement in Europe?
Yeah, it will mean a lot to us. The first time the club's been in the Champions League quarterfinals back-to-back for a while now. So yeah, tomorrow night we want to take the next step and try and get it over the line.
And what does it mean, the magic of Madrid?
Yeah, it's Madrid. You have to respect that and accept what they've done in the history. But tomorrow anything can happen. We can't focus too much on that.
Hi, Bukayo. We spoke to William recently. Naturally, I think the fans are very nervous about his contract situation. I think those same fans are very nervous about your contract situation. Could you give or say anything to help ease those nerves of the fans?
Yeah, well, for me, I want to win, and I want to win wearing this badge. So I think it's pretty clear. The fans know how much I love them, and you know, when you saw when I came on Tuesday, I think they love me back. So it's a good relationship, and yeah, I'm really happy to be here, and I'm just focused on winning here.
You seem pretty intent there in kind of where your head's at, and I was going to ask you whether that noise you heard on the other night could have changed anything, but it seems that that didn't change anything. It just reaffirmed how you feel about it.
Yeah, no, I just reassured everything, and yeah, like I said, it was special. You know, you had to be in the stadium to really understand, you know, and feel the noise and energy that they brought that night for me. So I'm really grateful, and yeah, like I said, I just want to win here, and that's my focus now.
Hi, Bukayo. You've had some amazing moments for Arsenal, played in finals for England, but is this game against Madrid and knockout stages of Champions League something you dreamed of as a kid and a young player coming through?
Yeah, most definitely. It's a very big night, and the stakes are high against one of the best teams in the competition. So I think it's a game that I definitely want to be involved in.
And I know you've spoken about coming back, but how do you feel sharpness-wise? Do you feel as you were before you came on, or still need some more minutes to get back up to where you were before you had your injury?
No, I feel good. Obviously, you can't define nature. You need to obviously get on the pitch, get your minutes up, but I'm feeling good, and the last two games I felt like I've gone from strength to strength.
Hi, Bukayo. Obviously, when you approach this match, we know the occasion, we know how much your career has meant for you and your family, and even in your faith when you that goal. When it comes to the pressure and remaining calm, you've seen you perform and carry this Arsenal team when they've needed it the most. How do you approach that mentally before a match of maybe this caliber that you haven't played before?
It's a good question. I think for me, I'm always focused on doing what I'm in the team to do, and that's, for me, it's making a difference in the final third. And I genuinely believe that if I do that, you know, the team is so good, and you know, the defenders are so good that we can score more goals than them, basically. So my approach to each game is pretty similar. Obviously, some games the stakes are higher, like this one, but yeah, the approach is the same.
James?
Bukayo, I know you've been keeping in touch with Thierry, and he's been offering you words of advice throughout this season and before. What has been the sort of advice and inspiration he's offered you going into a game like this?
I think for me, the biggest thing I take when I speak to Thierry is the confidence that he has, you know, in himself. Obviously, he gives me a few details on certain situations on the pitch and what he sees it and how he sees the game. But for me, I just, you know, when I speak to him, I like the way he's so confident, and you know, he genuinely believes that when he was on the pitch, no one could stop him. And I think with that belief, he literally just destroyed the league. So yeah, that's what I admire about him the most.
Have you let yourself dream about having a moment like you had in Bernabeu?
Yeah, of course. His moment was his moment. Obviously, here we want to write our own story, but yeah, something like that would be nice. Yeah.
Bukayo, you mentioned how proud you are of the way the club is bringing players through the Hale End Academy. Obviously, your injury allowed the opportunity for Ethan to play a little bit more football, and the way he's been curling the ball into the far corner is very Bukayo Saka-esque. Have you had any influence on him, do you think, during that period?
Yeah, Ethan will come and ask me questions from time to time, but I don't want to take anything away from him. I think he's an exceptional talent. He has that natural ability, and yeah, he's got a few similar qualities to me. Than in terms of he has got really good strike of the ball. So yeah, I'm just happy to see the way he's evolving, and I hope he continues.
Ed?
Hi, Bukayo. The manager was asked earlier about Madrid's front four and how much Arsenal are fearing them. Do you think that Arsenal have got plenty? Sorry, Madrid have got plenty to fear from Arsenal with you back in the team?
Yeah, 100%. I think just looking at our home record in the Champions League itself, I don't think we've lost a game in the last two seasons there. So I'm sure they know that, and yeah, they need to be ready because we're pretty good at the Emirates.
And do you sense, having come back into the team, you're obviously a big leader in this team, do you feel that the rest of the players are now sort of galvanised, focused on the target to win this title?
Yeah, I think with or without me, the objective is the same, and it's to beat them and go to the next round. So I think, yeah, with me coming back, it's still the same focus.
Right, just going back to the contract, is that something you'd like to get done sooner rather than later, say this summer, so it's done and dusted?
I don't think anyone's really in a rush. I think I've got 2 years left on my contract, so it's pretty relaxed. Everyone knows my thoughts, and I've let you guys know as well, so I don't think there's any rush really.
And just in terms of tomorrow's match, obviously Real Madrid are the favourites, or people have them as the favourites. Do you guys feel like you're the underdogs, or do you take your own?
I don't even think at all down that way. I don't know.
James?
Hi, Mikel. Obviously, tomorrow you're coming up against Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Jude Bellingham. These players who are in the mix for the Ballon d'Or every year. Your numbers have been so good over the last 2 or 3 years. Do you feel you're getting to that level personally? Do you feel you should be in that conversation?
What conversation exactly?
For the Ballon d'Or, is it kind of a goal of yours to win it one day?
Yeah, it's a dream. I think it's a dream for a lot of players. And, yeah, I'm just working hard to do my best for my team, and any individual awards that come with it, you accept it.
You mentioned earlier about wanting to win things with Arsenal. Is part of getting to that level as an individual that you win things as a team?
Yeah, 100%, and that's why the focus is always on winning here first before anything else.
James?
Hi, Mikel. Just want to tell us about your celebration on your comeback. We saw you head over to the bench and celebrate with Sam and the rest of the team. Was that something you thought about before the game, or something to come to you in the moment? And how crucial have they been to you over these last few months?
Yeah, so Sam Wilson and Ricky, they work really close with me in my rehab, every day. And the days that people didn't see, some days were tougher than usual, but they were always there pushing me. Unfortunately, Ricky couldn't make it. He had to be with his son on the night, so he wasn't in the stadium, because I always told them during the rehab that, if I did score, when I came back, I would come and thank them both. So, yeah, Sam was there, Ricky wasn't, so I went to obviously give Sam a hug, let him know that I appreciate all the efforts they put in with me.
And working with those guys, you've built your minutes up, you've played behind closed doors, and then half an hour, 45 minutes. Within yourself, knowing your body and your mind, do you feel like now I'm ready to start?
Yeah, but there's only one way to find out.
Last couple on this side, Photo Jordan.
Hi, Mikel. Just back on the likes of Vinicius Junior and Mbappe, how far away do you think you are from them in terms of the ability, the levels?
In terms of what, sorry?
How far away are you from those sorts of levels?
I think it's very opinionated. I think everyone will have something different to say, but yeah, I don't really want to start sitting here saying they're a level above me and stuff like this, because that's not the way I think, so I'll just leave everyone to have their opinion, but other things will speak for itself.
And just on your return, it kind of felt like a hero's return. Everyone's been waiting so long for you to come back. Is there that pressure on your shoulders now that you're seen as the hero of this team that's going to drag them through big games like this?
No, not at all. I think if we're going to win anything here, it's going to be a team effort, and I need my teammates as much as they need me, for sure.
Carrie? You talked about your story and how this will be the biggest match potentially of your club career, but your international career, you got to 2 major finals, gone deep into the World Cup. Yourself and Decker's teammates have come up against many of these players, as will a lot of your international colleagues. How have those big occasions shaped the player that will go out? We've seen how your penalties have changed, how you just have nerves of steel during that, but how much have those journeys shaped the player you are going into a match like this against the Galactica?
I think it's just experience that you pick up. Obviously, sometimes you make mistakes, you learn from them. But yeah, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I think going into games like this, I'm definitely more equipped from playing all the big games that I've played in the past.
And Jude, have you had many conversations, and also from his change from playing at Dortmund to going to Real Madrid, we've seen how he's changed as a player, the rabble-rousing, the chatting, the gamesmanship on the pitch. Has he given you any insights, but does that give you an insight of what you're going to experience as well tomorrow night?
We've watched Real Madrid, we've analysed them, we know how good they are, and the quality that they possess in the final third. So yeah, we just have to be ready to do our best to deal with that, and obviously impose ourselves as well.
Have you had a chat with Jude about this?
I had a brief chat with him in the change room, but not much was said, to be fair. Yeah.
Hi, Kai, I'm Noah from Zero Sport Netherlands. I have a question about Jurrien Timber. So, what is it like playing alongside him on the right side? And he obviously knows what it's like to be injured for a while. Has he helped you at all in your recovery process?
Yeah, so Jurrien's a really top player, and I've really enjoyed playing with him, especially this season. We built a good connection, very strong, good defender. He can attack as well, so he's pretty much very well all-rounded. And yeah, when I got injured, he was there for me. Anything I needed, obviously he knew how it was. I think he was really good with that in terms of, just keeping me involved, speaking to me and stuff like that. But it wasn't just him, a lot of the other players did the same for me, and that's why I say this team is a real family, and we can really do things together.
Thank you. Good luck to just at the back of the Spanish media. Yeah.
Hi, Bukayo. Vinicius has a very specific journey, not only shining on the pitch, but sometimes having to deal with off-the-pitch issues, racial abuse in some parts of Spanish fans. Is that a journey that you follow even more closely because of that as well? You follow his journey closely?
Yeah, I know him as a player, and I've seen the journey he's been on. And yeah, of course, some moments have been tough for him, but he's shown that he's bigger than all of that. So credit to him for that.
And last one, at the back. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Bukayo. How difficult it is to explain to you as a player what Real Madrid does constantly, season after season, scoring in injury time, comebacks, penalty shootouts, winning Champions League, which is a very difficult competition to win it so many times. How difficult it is to explain as a player?
I don't understand.
How can you explain as a player what Real Madrid does season after season in this competition?
Oh, yeah. I think we all know what they do, and we all watch a lot of their games, and we've seen the comebacks and the late wins that they've recovered. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen in this time.
Cool. We'll end it there. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Well, are you staying for a complete?
I'll see you guys.
Yeah.